love with this world. I have nestled lovingly in it. I have climbed its mountains, roamed its forests, sailed its waters, crossed its deserts, felt the sting of its frosts, the oppression of its heats, the drench of its rains, the fury of its winds, and always have beauty and joy waited upon my goings and comings. As I gaze, every color seems to deepen and glow as if the progress of the fresh sun work were visible from hour to hour, while every tree seems religious and conscious of the presence of God. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life, and of love and wings, and the gay, great happening illimitably earth. I dreamed that I floated at will in the great ether, and I saw the world floating also not far off, but diminished to the size of an apple. Then an angel took it in his hand and brought it to me and said, "This must thou eat." And I ate the world. In dreams, we are true poets. We create the persons of the drama. We give them appropriate faces. They speak to us, and we listen with surprise. No heart can leap, no soul can breathe, but by the sizeless truth of a dream whose sleep is the sky and the earth and the sea. Nature is a sea of forms, radically alike and even unique. A leaf, a sunbeam, a landscape, the ocean. What is common to them all is beauty. Each moment has its own beauty. It beholds every hour a picture which was never seen before and which shall never be seen again. Not the sun or the summer alone, but every hour and season yields its tribute of delight. For every hour and change corresponds to a different state of mind, from breathless noon to grimmest midnight. Some of our richest days are those in which no sun shines outwardly, but so much more a sun shines inwardly. What we love when on a summer day we step into the coolness of a wood is that its boughs close up behind us. We are escaped into another room of life. Behold these infinite relations, so like, so unlike, many yet one. Life is a train of moods like a string of beads, and as we pass through them, they prove to be many-colored lenses which paint the world their own hue. The whole of nature is a metaphor of the human mind. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. She invites us to lay our eye level with the smallest leaf and take an insect view of its plane. Every part is full of life. The eerie music wakens anew, and all about me there is a soft, plaining, murmurings. Every leaf has its own tongue. Every blade of grass gives back its individual notes. I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. In the presence of nature, a wild delight runs through man, in spite of real sorrows. Once in a lifetime, if one is lucky, one so merges with sunlight and air and running water that whole aeons, the aeons that mountains and deserts know, might pass in a single afternoon. There is a certain glory attends on water by night. By it the heavens are related to the earth, undistinguishable from a sky beneath you. Climb the mountains and get their good tidings. Nature's peace will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. The winds will blow their own freshness into you, and the storms their energy, while care will drop away from you like the leaves of autumn. You should go looking and listening alone on long walks through the wild forests and groves in all seasons of the year. The sky is mostly sunshine, oftentimes tempered by magnificent clouds. The breath of the sea built up into new mountain ranges, warm during the day, cool at night. Good flower opening weather. Once upon a time, there were no flowers at all. Wherever one might have looked, from the poles to the equator, one would have seen only the green of a world whose plant life possessed no other color. Flowers changed the face of the planet. Without them, the world we know, even man himself, would never have existed. There are small scuttlings and splashings in the dark, and out of it come the first croaking, illiterate voices of the things to be, just as man once croaked and dreamed darkly in that tiny vesicular forebrain. By this tenuous thread of living protoplasm, stretching backward into time, we are linked forever to lost beaches. The stars that caught our blind amphibian stare have shifted far or vanished in their courses, but still the naked, glistening thread winds onward. No one knows the secret of its beginning or its end. Its forms are phantoms. Turtle and fish and the pinpoint chirpings of individual frogs are all watery projections, concentrations, as man himself is a concentration of that indescribable liquid brew which is compounded in varying proportions of salt and sun and time. It has appearances, but at its heart lies water, which still, at this late point in time, shelters and brings into being 9/10 of everything alive. Will you seek afar off? You will come back at last to things best known to you, finding happiness, knowledge, not in another place, but in this place. Not for another hour, but this hour. Out of the same silent, beauteous miracles that envelop and fuse me, trees, water, grass, sunlight, and early frost, the one I am looking at most today is the sky. The vacant spaciousness of air and the veiled blue of the heavens seem miracles enough. An early twilight ushered in a long evening in which many thoughts had time to take root and unfold. Dwell as near as possible to the channel in which your life flows. is Earth's eye, looking into which the beholder measures the depth of his own nature. Nature, whose sweet rains fall on unjust and just alike, will have clefts where I may hide, and sweet valleys in whose silence I may weep undisturbed. She will cleanse me in great waters, and with bitterness make me whole. Clouds come from time to time and bring to men a chance to rest from looking at the moon. The true harvest of my daily life is intangible and indescribable as the tints of morning or evening. It is a little stardust caught, a segment of the rainbow. As long as I live, I'll hear waterfalls and birds and winds sing. I'll interpret rocks and learn the language of flood, storm, and avalanche. I'll acquaint myself with glaciers and wild gardens and get as near the heart of the world as I can. I have tried to put down such miracles as can be evoked from common earth, but men see differently. I can at best report only from my own wilderness. The important thing is that each man possess such a wilderness, and that he consider what marvels are to be observed there. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Infinite.